What's going on, everybody? Spartan here today with another video, and today's video is going to be on a fish species spotlight, and more specifically this is going to be the electric catfish. And I haven't really seen too many care guides on the electric catfish itself. I've seen plenty of people poking it and trying to get shocked by it, or showing that it has electrical properties, but I really haven't seen anybody talk about its care needs, what it's like to actually own it, and so on and so forth. With that being said, I got this video idea for the fish spotlight or species spotlight from Sanders Aquatics. Super nice channel for fish keeping, family owned and operated, ran, lovely couple and their son. Yeah, so I'll link them in the description. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into the. And with that being said, if you guys find this content enjoyable, educational, you guys like it, please would you consider dropping a like and maybe hitting that subscribe button down there below. It's really motivating. It's really awesome to see all the love and support, and I love sharing my love for fish keeping and our aquatic friends with all of you. So without further ado, we'll get right into it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is very simple. It's an electric catfish, so don't be stupid. This fish is not for the faint of heart, literally and figuratively. I've read on the internet it can deliver up to 340 volts of electricity or of a jolt to a person, animal, whatever comes in contact with it. So if you have heart conditions, you're an elderly person, or you're a child, please stay away from this fish. Please handle this fish with care. And then with that also being said, it is electrical, so if you are going to handle it, make sure you have insulated gloves or the proper equipment, because you don't want to damage or hurt the fish because you're holding him and he hits you and you drop him or whatever. So that's the first thing, is just be aware of those two things. If you have any heart conditions and stuff like that, or you're a child, you might not want to fool with this fish. Okay, so yeah. So first thing I'm going to talk about is his habitat and the way I keep him, and he's been seemingly super happy and healthy, and he's getting tubby and fat. And again, I raised him from maybe a 5 to 6 inch little fry all the way to the big tubby catfish he is now. I want to say he's a foot, maybe a foot and a half now. I haven't taken him out and measured him. I'm not really a fan of like disturbing my fish just to get measurements. I figure, God forbid, once he passes away of old age or whatever, I'll measure him then. I'm not gonna like disturb him. Or maybe if I have to move him again or something and he's already out, I'll measure him. Or I can use an object in the tank that I know the measurement of, or something like that. But I haven't measured him officially. But back to the habitat. Me personally, I did keep him in a rocky/sand habitat where he could dig a little bit and sift around in the sand. I kept rock hides for him, so basically I took rocks on 4 corners and a piece of flat slab so he could go into it. I don't know what you want to call that, like a little cave, I guess, a little cave. He loves it, he's happy, he stays in there most of the day. I've also read on the internet that you don't want to keep these fish with other fish. That's completely false. Yes, you want to be careful. You don't want to put him in with like goldfish or like guppies, or you don't want to be like putting him in with something small, because he is a catfish, and as you guys know in the fish keeping trade, catfish will eat anything that fits in their mouth, and they're happy to do it because they're catfish. So just don't be moronic with your choices. Of course, you want to be a little proactive with that. So for instance, for me, I have him in a tank with probably a foot to a foot and a half long sailfin pleco and 3 bichers. I've got 2 poly Senegals and 1 poly Niger, and they all do fine. I've had no fights. He hasn't electrocuted any of them. They all leave each other alone. No territory squabbles, nothing. I've had no problems with them. With that being said, caveat, I do keep all my fish well fed, especially the catfish. I try to keep that, especially him, just because he is a catfish, and I don't want to invoke his catfishness, for a lack of better terms. So habitat, I keep him sandy/rocky. Currently, I'm going through a substrate switching process, so I wanted to. So right now, I've got no substrate in the tank, and it does fine for him too. He loves it as well. It's soft on his belly. So again, that's pretty much simple. Trees and stuff like that, hides, driftwood, all that stuff, so he feels secure. would all help. So yeah, that's basically the habitat. And now feeding and stuff like that. Feeding wise, it's a catfish, so I'm gonna be saying that a lot, but he's not picky. He'll eat basically anything from pellets, frozen foods, freeze-dried foods, fresh foods. He's a catfish. He's happy. He's tubby. He'll eat it. You know, he ain't picky. I've never had him refuse something. Maybe when it's like the first day seeing it, he might refuse it, but then once he gets hungry, he comes and gets it. Another thing is unlike, I don't know about, I haven't had a lot of catfish other than him and a Cory cats. But I know that he completely abandons his nocturnal instincts when he smells his food. When it's feeding time, I feed my fish around 12 o'clock here. It's the best time for me. He comes right out, right to the top of the tank. I personally, since I raised him from a fry, or not a fry, but you know, a baby, whatever, in between teenage fish. As I said, I've hand fed him pellets, and the store I got him from was hand feeding him, so I wasn't really worried, and I'm not worried, so I can hand feed him. So if you raise him from young enough, you can hand feed him, I can pet him, all that. So feeding, it's not really hard to do. Yeah. All right, and for the last section of the video, I'm just gonna kind of do miscellaneous tips, things that I've learned with electric catfish that I'm gonna share with y'all. So one, even though he knows you, he's still an animal, so don't mistake him for like being trained or anything like that. It's still a wild animal, or still like, not wild, but it's still an animal, and you wanna treat him with respect. For instance, like what I mean by that is, even though he knows me, he knows my hand, I don't know if he knows my scent, I don't know, but if he knows me, I've cleaned his tank, I've been gravel cleaning it, and you know, I'll move his hide to get under there and make sure it's all clean for him. He'll come up and he'll hit me with like the equivalent of like a static shock from when you would rub a balloon, or you'd rub your feet on the carpet for the socks. He'll even hit me with it and just let me know, like, homie, you're messing with my home, dog. And it's funny, if he's got me once or twice, and it's funny because I'll be holding the gravel sifter and I'll jump up, and because you're not expecting it, even though it doesn't hurt, you know, because it's only a static shock. You're cleaning your tank, you're not expecting to get, you know, electrically shocked. So it's funny, but just be aware, he still will let you know, because he's still an animal at the end of the day, and he still will defend his home, and when he feels threatened, even by someone he knows, which is me. So that's one thing. Second thing is again, I'm gonna restate it, it's a catfish. Don't put fish that can fit in his mouth, because he probably will eat it, especially if given the chance when he's hungry. As I said, I've had no problems with bigger fish. But don't tempt it, and every specimen might be different. You know, mine might be a little bit more docile, you might get one, he might be a little bit more aggressive, or she. So just be case by case, and you know, make sure that, you know, you're very smart with it, and redo your research. I didn't mention it in the habitat, but I have him in a current. I currently have him in a 75, and if he gets any bigger, I am going to move him up to a 125 gallon with the sail fin. But he's currently thriving in the 75 gallon, plenty of space for him to move around and swim. And yeah, so as I say, for me, he hasn't tore up any, when I had the tank planted, he wasn't a pain in the butt tearing up plants or anything like that, for me at least. Really enjoyable catfish. He's like a little dog, he's likable, you know. He was one of the first fish that I had the goal to get. He was the whole reason why I got a bigger tank. I saw him at the store I got him at, and there was nobody on YouTube who had him. No care guides. They just was interesting. Like, who wouldn't want an electric catfish? Like, that's just such a cool thing. Like, you know, you have your friends over and you're like, hey, you want to see an electric catfish? And most people are like, wait, what? There's such a thing as an electric catfish? And you're like, yeah, he's pretty cool. He also is a super beautiful fish. I love his patterning and just his overall goofy face. So let's get you some videos of the star of the show. All right, everybody, so here's the tank. Forgive all the detritus at the bottom. Water change and cleaning day is in like 2 or 3 days, so just forgive that, ignore that's down there. But he usually lives in his little rock hide over here. This is what he usually lives in. He's a happy little guy. Little tubby catfish, nice and big. You know, he's the length of almost the whole rock. So whatever, I can measure this rock and get a rough estimate of how big he is. But yeah, you see his little tail sticking out. And he lives here with 2 Senegals, Poly Niger Bisher, and then in the back there you can see the sailfin. But they all live in harmony. You can see none of them are floating or dead or damaged or nibbled or anything. And again, everybody, I know plecos often like to suck on the slime coat of the Senegals and other polys. He's never done that. Never latched on once. Never had a problem with them. I check all my polys every day. Love my polys. So if he did, I'd move them and separate them. But I've had them in the tank for almost a year together, and I've had no problems. Just to let you guys know, I am aware of that. So if anybody comments that, but as I said, look at he's over here. The catfish don't bother him. They don't bother each other. It's not like he's being aggressive and you know, saying this is my hide. He leaves them alone. They all go together pretty perfectly, and that's what I love about it, you know. So thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you stuck around this long, it means a lot to me. If you've liked the video and you found it useful, educational, whatever, please consider dropping that like. Please consider subscribing. It motivates me. It's awesome. Love you guys so much. I have a blast sharing my fish tanks, and my fish keeping journey with all of y'all. So without further ado, peace.